Viewers, if you were to watch the news on telly, you would think that Israel is carrying out an unprovoked outrage on humanity in Gaza. There is very little attempt at reporting the facts dispassionately. Everyone seems to have forgotten that Israel is acting in self-defense after Hamas terrorists carried out a pogrom against Jews in Israel on October 7. Also buried somewhere is the fact that more than 200 Jews are still being held hostage by the bloodthirsty Hamas. The one-sided reportage has meant that hundreds and thousands of protesters have hit the streets, and you can see them in the middle of your screens from DC to Doha to Delhi, viewers, tearing down posters of Israeli hostages or chanting deaths to Israel. Others are demanding an immediate ceasefire. But it appears that the outrage is selective. While Israel must be made to answer for any transgressions, the same rule should apply to others in the world, viewers. In Sudan, for instance, Arab militias are reportedly on an ethnic cleansing spree. Look what's happening to the right of your screens. Reuters has reported that the culling of an indigenous tribe may be underway as we speak. Hundreds of thousands of tribals are fleeing. You can see those visuals. They're fleeing Sudan for neighboring Chad. But obviously, their lives don't matter. There has not been one single protest by the woke, the left, anywhere in the world. The question is why? Let's ask, viewers, are some lives more important than others? Let's open this up. Let's not delay. Let's go straight across to Iyer Mitra, and let's also bring in Mr. Isa Amro. Mr. Amro, let me begin with you. And let's keep those three windows on air, because I want Mr. Amro to also look at the face of those who are being culled by Arab militias in Sudan. Mr. Amro, your heart doesn't bleed, no protests. How do you explain this, sir? Not one protest in the world for these poor Sudanese people. Why is Israel being singled out? Is there an agenda? Are you playing to some international game? Or are you scared that you don't want to talk about the Arab militia because this is a Muslim world problem and this will bring out the intolerance in the Muslim society at some levels?
For me, all lives matters,
right?
And I show my, my solidarity with all the victims.
Have you tweeted about this?
All the victims in Sudan. I tweeted in the past about
how
Sudan.
Past? How much past?
Many friends.
How much past? We're going to fact check you, sir. So you please be accurate.
And in the UN, we work together in the Human Rights Council against the oppressors, not only in Sudan, in Libya, in Syria, in Iraq, in Egypt, in
and of course in the West Bank, right? In the West Bank also, where Muslim militias are killing other Muslim militias and other dissidents, isn't it, sir? Where Hamas is killing PA, and PA is trying to hit back. True or not true?
Where is this? It's not happening in the West Bank.
Oh, it's not happening in the West Bank. Let me bring in Mr. Iyer Mitra on this point.
You don't know about it. You don't know about the West Bank. There is no militia. Arab militia.
Oh, I see. There is no militia in the West Bank. Right. People like the Hezbollah have no role in the West Bank. No role, absolutely. Who is the Hezbollah, viewers? It's a bloody terrorist organization. That's what people will tell you. I'm not saying it. It's been written there. It's written on protest. It's been written on protest placards in the past by people themselves. The word that I've just used, quote unquote.
Very wrong. You say false information.
Right.
Very long.
Okay, Mr. Iyer Mitra, the Hezbollah is not a terror organization.
No, Hezbollah is not in the West Bank. There is no Hezbollah. Hezbollah is in Lebanon.
Right.
There is Hamas in the West Bank, and there is Islamic Jihad in the West Bank.
Exactly.
And we all have seen those images when the separation of Gaza from the West Bank happened about in 2006 or 7, I forget when. We all saw how they were killing each other, throwing each other off roofs, knifing each other, putting rubber tires around each other's neck and setting it alight. I think it's called necklacing or something like that. So I think if we're ever going to start with this point where Islamic Jihad, PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Hamas and Hezbollah are not terrorists, I don't think we can agree on anything beyond that.
Who funds them? Who funds them?
Well, look, Hezbollah is very open. We've had, right from the time of President Rafsanjani, every Iranian president come out and make statements of support to Hezbollah and openly admit to supporting Hezbollah. With Palestinian Islamic Jihad and Hamas, the Iranian support's only picked up in the last few years.
Okay, let me ask Mr. Isa. Here is a Muslim government, an Islamic state of Iran, that is weaponizing Islamist terror organizations to carry out attacks. What is going on, sir?
What's going on in the West Bank and Gaza in Palestine is 1948, Israel evicted 800,000 Palestinians from their homes. 300 Palestinian villages and cities and towns were destroyed, and Israel continued its oppression
Mr.
against
Isa
the
Amro,
Palestinians.
Mr. Isa Amro, Israel's
occupation is
excesses
going
have been
on
well
since
documented. We are
very
not
long
here to
time
condone
in
Israel's
Palestine,
excesses.
and,
I am
if
asking
you
you,
talk about-
why is there only selective outrage? Israel has crossed the line. I am saying it tonight. I have always maintained that,
Yes,
that in the
that's
past
fair.
it has
Let's
crossed
agree
the line.
about that.
But I'm asking you, sir, when Arab militias cross the line, why isn't the Muslim world coming out in support of the Sudanese? Where are the protests? In DC?
I think no. Listen to me. This is something very important. We should not, neglect any kind of support to human who are facing
Nice
trouble, to
words.
Syrian.
You began with those words, and I congratulate you. You're a good humanist.
We show
But I want to
solidarity,
ask
but
you,
the
why isn't the
Palestinian
rest of the Muslim world out on the
Did you
streets in
see-
support of these poor, weeping people? Mr. Ayyar Mitra, can you
No.
explain why? Because he's not
because
going
you
to answer
don't
the question.
follow
It's very
you don't follow the news, you don't follow the activities and the actions. In the UN many times we were together showing solidarity with everybody, and Israel is the longest occupation. Did you see
Okay, name me one
4,000
protest that has
children
taken place
killed?
internationally in London, in DC, in San Francisco, Mr. Abhijit Ayyar Mitra, in support of these poor people who have to leave their homes and they are in these refugee camps.
Zero, because
UK. Because
Let Mr.
UK,
Ayyar Mitra speak.
United States-
member of, he's asking me, sir. Even though Sudan is a member of the Arab League, I want you to just look at how Pakistani and some Arab accounts have been talking about the Sudan. They consider them somehow to be inferior Arabs in one form or the other, which is why they're also not talking with Afghans.
Okay,
Pakistan
inferior Arabs.
is expelling
Inferior Arabs. There it is. There is a caste system, viewers.
Syria. Do you remember where were the
I'll have to leave it at this. I've really run out of time, gentlemen. Sorry.
It's very wrong.
The right stand coming up with Anand Narsimhan, but viewers, there is hypocrisy here. And we'll investigate this hypocrisy as the days go by. More visuals will be coming out of the Sudan, and watch and wait.